I'm going to tell you what the secret to success is, and I get to remind myself of this. I'm so much right now. The secret to success is failure. Yep. Success is not about achieving every day. Success is about the willingness to fail every day. I mean, how crazy is that? We think of success as, we got to get up and we conquer and we do this and we do that and we get everything together and then we're successful. For me, I get up and I start thinking, I got to do this, this, and this, and this, and I want to do this. Oh, but wait, I don't really feel secure about writing that piece today. Or what if it doesn't come across right? Or what if? And I have already failed. I have already failed the ultimate because I wasn't even willing to start. Isn't that crazy? It takes a little bit for my mind to wrap around that. So I'm not willing to fail, so I don't start. But because I don't start, I've already failed. That's crazy. So it may seem like that the quest for perfection is what mastery is, but mastery is really about the willingness to fail, being willing to venture down the wrong path, being willing to make the wrong mistakes, be willing to paint the wrong color on the canvas, be able to draw outside of the lines. I'm not going to sugarcoat that with just affirmations either. Like, I can do everything and I can put this together and I'm good at, I love affirmations. Affirmations are really important. And by affirmations, what I mean is by finding a truth and affirming our truth. And so I can set myself up if I'm starting to write a new piece of music. And I always set myself up to think that it's not going to be good enough, right? I is this going to be good? And I'm rather than just sitting down and writing, rather than just like doing it for the enjoyment, even if I am doing it for that, I still get in my head. And I learned something about I was writing a string quartet once, and my first one actually, and I was working with my composition teacher, and he had been telling me for 6 weeks, says, bring something in on this string quartet. And I hadn't even started. And every week I would come in with something really cool that was not a string quartet. And he was like, that's cool. Where's your string quartet? And finally, one week he said, Skip, if you do not come in with a string quartet or something, a piece of it to show me that you've started next week, then you are going to have to take this credit over again. This is grad school, so it wasn't cheap and there's a lot of time. And I would have loved to study with him more, but that wasn't the point. I wanted to study with him more because I wanted to, not because I had to. And so I had been researching and listening to other string quartets that inspired me. And I'm like, these are so great. I want to add these elements. I want to do this. I want to do that. But when I would start, I'm already thinking it's not going to be good. Well, of course, it's my first one. It's not going to be Mozart. It's not going to be Beethoven. Shoot, it may not even be after the 10th one that I write. Who knows? Who knows? Because I'm not even willing to start. I'm not willing to fail. The night before, I had to see Dr. Murciano again and taking my string quartet. It was probably 6 at night on Sunday. And I'm just, okay, what are we going to do? So I sat down, got myself into a meditation, and just calmed my mind and started to think, I can do this. I'm a great composer. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. I don't need that right now. What I need to affirm right now is that I am a composer, period. I don't need to be great and I don't need to be bad. I just need to be a composer and get this damn thing out on paper. I wrote out a meditation and I wish I would have kept it, but I remember that specifically. I am a composer. That's it. And I set some ground rules for myself. You're going to sit down for 3 hours and you are going to write. You are not going to edit. You're just going to keep going one note at a time forward. And not allowing myself to edit while I was doing it. Kind of like I'm doing this video right now, because there are so many times in this video I've already wanted to stop and go back and think, I should have said that better. There's too much space here. I'm not smiling. All this stuff going on in my head. And I'm just trying to tell you a simple story, right? On video. If you were here in person, I'd just be, but there's something about it in my mind that this way is different and it's got to be perfect. And so I don't do these often because they're not perfect. Right now, I'm using that same thing. I'm sitting down. I think I've gone over 3 minutes, but I'm not editing. Who knows how it'll turn out? Doesn't matter. I'm telling the story that I feel called to tell you. And that's what I did with the string quartet. Did not edit, kept moving forward. And I took it in the next day and I sat it down in front of Dr. Murciano. He's looking over the score and I can see, he's a genius, man. I know he can hear it in his head much better than I could. And I was like, oh my God, what is, and he's reading it. And then he takes and then he plays some of it into, and we listen to it on the computer and he looks at it some more. And then he looks over at me and he's, Skip, not that I didn't think you were capable of this, but this is really good. Wow. You know what I heard? He just said, I'm not capable of this. That is the first thing I heard. I kid you not. Right? What's the first thing you heard? Mirrors, if you were telling me that the first, oh, wow, he told you it was really good. Right? That's not what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear, but that's not what I'm used to hearing. Allowing myself to fail. And I'm not saying that first time was like the success, because I had been, there had been now I'm getting stopped. I'm not going to stop this video. I'm going to keep going with a new thought. How's that? The point is, the main thing is, the key to mastery is to allowing yourself to fail. Because it's in those failures also that, working through the grindstone. Well, what is that doing? That's also sharpening our skills. I love that analogy. We're working through the grindstone. We're sharpening our skills. And I think about the Wright brothers, right? Wright brothers, right? How many times did they build a plane before they got one that flies? It was like eight planes that they built. People thought they were crazy. Did you know even after the first one flew, people stopped talking about it? They went on as if it never happened. I kid you not. I heard this recently. It was like then people started to believe that it did not happen because it was so unheard of. But it took them 8 planes. And how many Model Ts? Well, there was only one Model T Henry Ford made. How many uh, cars before him? Before them, it was also 8. I lied. I'm sorry. The Wright brothers built 3 planes. Henry Ford did 8. I am not going back and editing that in this video because I'm getting through it. This is not a failure. This is live in person, Skip doing what he loves and not being afraid to fail because I said something that wasn't right. I corrected it, right? I mean, pretty simple stuff. You probably forgave me, and I'm still going on in my head about how crazy I am. Anyway, the last one I have for you is how many light bulbs did Thomas Edison make? Come on, let me hear. 10, 100, 1,000, over 1,000 light bulbs before he got one that worked. Before he got one that worked. Now, that to me tells me there is no such thing as an overnight success. You know, we think of these people who it's their first acting gig and it's like a great movie, I'm doing it again. The first Superman, Christopher Reeve, people thought he was like an overnight success when Superman came out. But the years of training and the productions and the crappy productions he did, he allowed himself to fail. And I bet those people that I just said had crappy productions, they probably got better too. Not my best choice of words there, but you know what I'm saying? I got to remind myself of this. I'm telling you all of this right now because it's really real to me right now. And so um we can only keep what we have by giving it away. Somebody asked me about that today. So why am I doing this? We can only keep what we have by giving it away. And that means any success that I have to give it away. Anything new that I learn, I have to give it away. And I get to get it away, give it away. And what does that mean? It means that when I come on to something that I am so grateful for, that gratitude is more than a feeling, that I am so full of gratitude that it becomes an action. And that action is what becomes a success. Acting out of gratitude. I just had a light bulb. That was freaking amazing. See what happens when we give things away. I want to talk more about mastery, and I have a mastery group coming up that I would love for any of you who are watching to, I'd love to talk to you about it. What does it mean to master something? What does it mean to be a master of the arts, a master of my life? It means first, being willing to fail and doing it over and over and over and over. And every time getting better, learning more. And that one day, oh, I got to find the right exact quote. One day we take this and we pass it on. A true master does not keep what he has learned and his skills and her skills, their skills. A true master passes it on. And as Yoda said in one of the movies, I am going to find the right quote, but it was something to the effect of, a master expects and hopes that his student becomes better than him. That is mastery. That is mastery. So I challenge you today, just do something that you've not been doing because you're afraid you're going to fail. Just do it. Allow yourself to fail. Allow yourself to fall flat on your face. For every time we allow ourselves to fail, we are allowing the opportunity to succeed. Every time we are allowing ourselves to fail, we are allowing the opportunity to succeed. You just don't know which time it's going to be, right? I am not a baseball aficionado. I mean, I grew up in America. Like, how many baseball games have I been to in my life? Many, many, many. I don't even know all the rules, but yeah, I do. A friend from Germany was visiting. I was sitting there the whole game and telling him what was going on. I'm like, how the heck did I know this stuff? It's just so ingrained in us, right? Baseball. But I don't know all the statistics and all that stuff, but I have sat through enough games to know that even the best player strikes way more than they hit the ball. But do they give up? No. And you know what? Every once in a while, they hit a home run. You are amazing. And I'm going to have to go now because my assistant is waking up. It's Spats. It's his job to sit there and sleep. And he wakes up when he tells me that it's time to stop things. If you are interested in mastery, please put below in the comments. Just write mastery, and I will reach out to you if you're interested in knowing anything more about this, or you want to have a call with me. Just type in the comments below mastery, and let's connect. Say hi, Spats.